Hello there everybody. So today we're going to be going ahead and just ranking all these fruits. I'm going to be swinging it, no script, anything like that. You're getting my genuine actual comments on it. And first up is the barrier fruit. Honestly, for grinding, it's just D, right? And it's like, it's got some good combat stuff. Like it can be kind of troll if you're playing with friends. I wouldn't rely on it for bounty, but since we're just talking about grinding in this video, it's staying in the D rank. Next one's pretty good, Blizzard Fruit. I'm just going to stick it right in A. I wouldn't get it if you're in the first C. It's doable if you're later first C, but the really important thing there is the V move, the Blizzard domain, has a massive area of effect. And then also the flight move just does damage while you're flying, which makes it really good. Bomb Fruit's great and all, but it would be the first thing I pick if I had no other choice. So not really the best thing to say about it there. Buddha Fruit is going straight to S. The moves on the Buddha Fruit are absolute trash, but the fact that you can use it with melee and sword just makes this thing absolutely kick butt. Chop Fruit, I think it's one of the best PvP fruits, believe it or not, but almost every NPC can hit you. That being said, some NPCs, the one with swords, that they can't hit you, so for that reason and that reason only, I'm going to stick it at C. Control Fruit, it's alright. I'm actually going to stick it at C. I know some people might put it up at B, but just because it has one move that can do really good doesn't mean it takes off everywhere else. I mean, the ability to teleport with it within your little domain is great, but it's going to be a risky move. I know some people are going to be unhappy with it, but Control, it's alright for PvP, but for grinding, it absolutely sucks. Dark Fruit, it's alright. People are definitely going to be upset that I ranked it higher than Control, but in my experience, Dark Fruit isn't bad. It's got good binding abilities, and if you can combo it with melee, which may be hard if you're in the first C to learn, but once you get that down, that thing is absolutely amazing. Diamond is just Walmart brand Buddha, so I'm going to stick it at B. I mean, I wouldn't use any of the abilities on it, but you combine that with your aura or hockey, and combine it with melee or sword, or both, the thing is not that bad. I mean, if you want a Buddha, then that's your starter Buddha, I guess. Though it's A tier. I mean, it's not the best, it's not the worst. Like, the abilities are pretty good, but it's not really good for grinding until you awaken it. But once you're in the second C and you can find somebody to help you awaken it, the thing is absolutely amazing. So I'm keeping it at that. Dragon, believe it or not, I'm going to stick it at S. It's terrible for the first C, and any of these fruits that I'm talking about, if they're mythical and you're in the first C, don't even touch them. Mythical fruits are a waste of time in the first C. But once you get the C and the X move unlocked on this thing, it is fantastic. Oh, and the flight move, it's great for mobility. It's among the fastest fruits in game. But once you learn to combo that, you know, some people may find it funny to combo NPCs, but that thing makes grinding so easy. I'm so glad that I got it perm when I'm in the second C. Falcon, I just hate that fruit overall. It's my least favorite fruit in the game. It's D right off the bat now. Flame, I actually used this fruit got me from level 400 to level 700, so up to the second C and then a little bit past that. So for that reason, I can say I have a bit of experience with it. I'm going to stick it at B. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's got good mobility, it's really good when awakened. Yeah, so that's where I'd put that. Ghost Fruit, S tier, actually. You combo the Ghost Fruit, which has the new V ability, which spawns in ghosts that go and fight for you based off of your stats. So if you have, you know, you don't even need any stats in Fruit. You just need stats in defense and melee and or sword. And you just use the Ghostbuster move, which is the V move, and it spawns in a couple ghosts that go and run and fight NPCs for you or with you, which is absolutely spectacular. Gravity is nice and all, but I feel like the mastery requirement for it is too high for what it does. It's alright for PvP, but we're not talking about PvP here, so I'm sticking it in C. Ice, absolute S tier. If you're in the first C, get Ice right now, or we're going to talk about it soon, so I might as well move it up. Light, absolutely. If you're in the first C, these are the two fruits that you want right now. They are absolutely spectacular. I wish I had them when I was in the first C, and they're really common roles. just stick with them. They have M1 attacks, meaning you can tap or click depending on what device you're on, and just do like almost like sword damage, but you can stick all of that in your fruit, which means you have higher stats technically in the first C, because all you have to do is put just a little bit of stats in melee, and then most of your stats in defense and fruit, and you're doing more damage and you have more health than you normally would if you were doing a combo build with melee, sword, defense, and fruit, like a lot of people do in the first C. Leopard, unpopular opinion here, possibly. I'm going to stick at A. It's got an M1 attack, which we just talked about, but it takes forever to get the transformation. The transformation's fast and all, but also like the M1 attack doesn't swing as quick as a sword, or even like it would with Buddha or whatnot, so it's going down to A. It's great. I love the fruit. It's really fun to play. It's not fun to get called a furry when you play with it, but overall it's staying in A. Love fruit. It's nice for PvP and all, and it's going B tier only because you can attack while you're flying, so the NPCs really cannot hit you. Magma. I'm also gonna... I want to make it A or B, but I'm gonna make it B. It's great and all. It's really amazing once you awaken it, but you have to do a little bit more of like a big brain play, get all the NPCs in one spot, and then use magma, and then you got to go gather the NPCs again once they respawn. It's kind of inconvenient, but it can do some pretty big damage. Oh, I'm loving this fruit right now. The T-Rex fruit, this thing is spectacular. I'm actually doing a giveaway on my Discord for this one, so if you want it, you might go and check the description here. But this thing is crazy. It's got a good M1 attack. Once you get the transformation on it, the M1 is super fast. The moves are good. The mobility is good. I know a lot of people, especially YouTubers, are dogging on it because it's, I don't know, I guess they're comparing it to Leopard or something, but I personally think it's even better than Mammoth. So overall, it's not bad. It's pretty fun fruit. Looks pretty cool. I thought I'd hate it when they announced it, but there's just something about it. Mammoth, I'm sticking A, only because once you get the transformation, the F move, you literally just hold F and you just trample over all the NPCs. And if you do that in PvP, then we need to talk. Anyways, Pain, straight D, yeah, D tier. It's not great, terrible mobility, you can't even fly with it. The Pain nuke is the only decent move on it. It's alright. Phoenix, I'm giving B tier. It doesn't have a lot of attacking moves, it's just kind of mid overall. But the transformation once awakened can do damage, and then also the ability to heal with it is pretty spectacular. Portal, oh, I'm going to give it B. Not because the attacks are good on it, but you don't need any points in fruit to use sword and melee, and just use the portal to teleport you around. So it's pretty nice. It's a legendary fruit, I believe, so it can take a little bit of grinding to get the mastery up. So if you're in the first C, maybe it's not the best until you're, you know, I'd say around Fountain Town, something around there, you know, level 500 and up. But it's not bad. It's really good for mobility when you're trying to get island to island, and you can go invisible and stuff like that, so you can run away from NPCs when you need to heal. It's not bad. Quake, I'm also going to give it B just because the tsunami abilities, both unawakened and awakened, can do a decent amount of damage. Ultimately, you're going to want to do combos with it. Anybody that uses Quake is usually like an absolute god at comboing fruits. Rocket fruit, it's actually not bad. So I'm gonna give it C. It's got good mobility, the moves aren't bad. I wouldn't just rely on rocket if you're grinding, but I mean, for being the most common fruit in game, it's not that bad. Rubber is just absolutely D. I don't know why they did Luffy's, yeah, sorry, I was gonna say spoiler. Anyways, they did Luffy's fruit really dirty here. It's bad. Almost spoiled One Piece. Nope, not gonna be that guy. Rumble, it's either A or B. Just because it's a more rare fruit, I'm gonna put it at A. But it can do really good damage. It's got stun damage, massive AoE, especially when awakened. If it's unawakened, it's definitely a B tier. But I'm gonna leave it at A. It's not bad. Sand, I'm gonna stick it at B. The cooldowns on the abilities are pretty quick. It's got a flight move, so that's always a plus. The only issue is if you fall in the water, I believe you take double damage with the sand fruit, so that's something to be aware of. I personally wouldn't use it, but it's not bad. Speaking of B tier, I'm gonna throw the shadow fruit in there. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's kind of middle ground. It's pretty good in PvP, but when it comes to grinding, it just leaves a lot to be desired. Smoke, I might be a little bit biased here. This fruit got me from I'd say level 100 to level 400. It was actually the first permanent fruit I ever bought. And it's just good. It's got decent moves. It's, again, not the worst, not the best. I'm actually going to throw it in B tier. Some people might think I'm crazy for doing that, but the flight move deals damage a lot like Blizzard. It's almost like a Walmart brand Blizzard. So it's not bad. It's not a terrible choice. Sound. Ooh. I'm going to stick sound at A tier because it's got a massive AoE with the disco ball move. I'm dropping the name of it, and I think it's the X move. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But it's pretty good. Not to mention you can buff yourself with the flight move. You just hold that, or any move, but mainly the flight move. If you just hold that, fly around, it buffs your speed, defense, and attacks by, I think, 10%. So it's pretty good. It's not bad. You can actually use it if you're in the first seat too. The only issue is trying to obtain it. But hey, I believe in you. Spider Fruit. It has good potential, but you really have to combo it in the first seed to get good with it. So for that reason, just because of the effort and skill that it can take to grind well with the spider fruit, I'm making it C. It really pains me to say that because I like the fruit itself, but yeah, spike fruit, that's just Walmart brand dough fruit. I'm sticking it in C. Spin fruit, it's got a good flight move, that's about all, so I'm sticking it in D. Spirit, I want to make it A or S. I want to flip a coin for it, but I'm just going to say S because it's got a good flight move, it's got really high damage, and you get like 2 little spirits that fly next to you. It looks cool, but those spirits can spawn in different like almost NPCs like trees or like stars, or I think one was like a flying pig or something like that, and they can heal you or do damage depending on, you know, which side of the slider that your little icon arrow, I guess, is on your slider. And they can either heal you or damage / bind / poison NPCs. It's not bad. Spring fruit, it's only good for mobility. Venom, pretty quick tick damage. I don't hate it. I'm gonna leave it at A. It could possibly be a B. I feel like it needs a little bit more. It's definitely something that even in the second C, it can be a little bit tedious to grind because the moves aren't the absolute best. But once you unlock the transformation on it, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then last but not least, Kitsune fruit. I don't want to be that guy saying, oh, it's the newest and most expensive fruit in the game, so it's the best, but it's S tier. It's absolutely straight out of like some admin's hack book. It's got crazy good speed, especially if you pair it with any speed accessory, but especially the pilot's helmet. It's fast, it does good damage. The transformation is ridiculous. Like, I love PvP, but I don't like fighting people using the Kitsune fruit. Just almost a brain dead fruit. So that's it for the list. If you'd have any fruits in any other places, let me know in the comments, but I feel like that's a pretty good lineup, and I would show this list to myself when I started Blox fruits a few years ago. Like, it's pretty much evened out, and I know a lot of people would probably want control higher up, or maybe want portal lower, but man, if I had this list when I was new, and heck, if I had the Kitsune fruit or the T-Rex fruit when I was new, actually no, those would suck in first C. If I had the light fruit or the ice fruit when I was in the first C, man, I would have been in the third C years ago. So yeah, overall, let me know what you think. You know, like, dislike, put it in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think, and if you want to subscribe, I do a lot of giveaways and stuff like that on my Discord channel. I do a lot of content like this. I also love doing YouTube shorts. That stuff just, it's fun to do for me, and you guys seem to enjoy it. But anyways, I will see you all in the next video.